will have revenge. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. Now you will experience the full power of the dark side.
Welcome, followers of the Dark Side and the Light. I'm your host, John, the real JP3, and I'm joined as always by my good friend and fellow co-host, who is the master of the dark side, expert on the occult, and obtainer of rare antiquities and holocrons. Please welcome Dark Lord of the Sith, David.
This is the way.
Oh dear Jesus, here we go.
This is the way, John. This is the way. I know we got a lot to talk about. It's episode 119. A lot of things on the list tonight to discuss, but dear God, if you have not seen Mandalorian episode 3, The Sin, go check it out. It is freaking beast. I don't know how you did not get spoiled from Friday when it launched till Sunday when you first saw it. Today, John.
I stayed off social media.
Did you really?
And I didn't read any articles that my co-host sent me to post for The Mandalorian, and I specifically told him that's wrong, and he's like, I'm not spoiling anything, and I said, you're a liar.
You know, if you really wanted to, you could have found time to watch it.
No.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this weekend, no.
No, you don't need sleep, John. You don't need sleep when you have The Mandalorian.
I didn't get very much sleep, actually, regardless of not watching it. So, regardless, I did not get spoiled enough. I didn't get spoiled at all. The only thing I got spoiled on was one thing, which in reality I didn't think was a spoiler. I thought at the time it was a spoiler.
Yeah, you did, because you started talking crap to me. But regardless, I have spoken. Let's get on with the show. So what are we covering first? Because this is Thanksgiving week, John. You and me, we're going to be crazy busy the next couple of days. So we're only going to probably knock out this one episode for the entire week of Thanksgiving. So, yeah. You guys want to hear us for a bit? Unless you want to check out some reruns.
I don't even know where to start with all the notes we have, but I think we're going to start with the Rise of Skywalker information and news. We are less than a month away from the Rise of Skywalker episode 9. It seems to me like every single day something new comes out, something interesting. Oh my God, this photo was leaked. Oh my God, it's to the point where if you read some of the
open, John, the floodgates have opened. It's all right. Just take it all.
But here's the thing. So like, out of all the articles that get posted, and they're like, read this, and they tell you like this is something new. What I found, and when I post these articles, is that majority of the time the information is all repeated across all mediums, except for like 2 sentences, which is new, or like one photo that's new. And so it's very difficult to make sure you stay up on that information because you don't want to sound repetitious and post multiple things. Where if you like find that one photo and you post that one photo and you talk about that one photo. But, JJ is going to be on Good Morning America on Monday, talking about the Rise of Skywalker in Times Square.
There's going to be another trailer. There's going to be something. He's going to come out.
This dude with his trailer.
Wouldn't it be awesome if he came out with the freaking Knights of Ren at his back? Oh my God, that'd be so bad.
Which came out in a recent TV spot. We got to see a little bit more of the Knights of Ren. And like, so when you go through it, a lot of the TV spots, at least from my opinion, I watch them like 3 or 4 times before I like post something from them. And I saw several of them like, okay, I've seen that shot before. Seen that shot. Oh, that's new. That's way new. And then trying to pause it like on the exact time is just very difficult. But anyway, so TV spot, got the Knights of Ren, got some other flashbacks real quick. We talked about the previous TV spot on Thursday's episode last week.
Which there was an extended TV spot that we didn't even get to see until like right after we shot. That had a little bit more time.
Tanya, it's just like, it's crazy the amount of information that we're getting at this point.
And that second TV spot did confirm that Rey was jumping into the Falcon, so you did lose that bet.
Okay, so speaking of that, I did see that second TV spot
I
after we
sent it
put.
to you, yeah.
I can't remember what you send me and what
God,
I find
here we
on
go.
social media now. And I it was like a wider shot, and I was like, oh, she's jumping into this. Oh, I remember seeing it because I was like, I'm not telling Dave that I saw this and that
I
she's jumping
sent
in this
it to
Falcon.
you.
It doesn't mean I have to watch it though. I don't have to watch it.
Oh, goodness, Johnny. But no, I sent it to you, and like Boyega's like, Ray! I guarantee he's screaming Ray at the top of his lungs right there. And then as soon as
I'm gonna laugh. Like, here's this one, like, over here when we're in the movie theater, and he's like, Ray! And he starts hitting my elbow because he's like, I was right.
Called it. But at the very end, somebody was lighting up a saber against Ray in that, like, snowy village that's abandoned kind of thing. So that looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, we did talk about. I remember there was a little bit that we
it
did
looks
see
like
that.
there was like a handle of something.
Yep.
Couldn't tell if it was a saber or what. And then boom, 20 minutes after we shoot, confirmation, it's a saber. Who is it though?
Who is it?
That's a question, man.
Who is it?
Question.
JJ on Good Morning America, which meant the international poster has also aired. Dave, thoughts?
Hold on,
this internet? There was two.
Pull it up.
Yeah,
I
let's
got
pull
it.
up.
I got it here. You know, it intrigues me the fact that there is the Kylo Ren Kensuke helmet in the background as the main centerpiece, but they've also decided to include Kylo Ren at the bottom as well.
Now, there was one of our listeners commented on my internet's running super slow, commented on our Facebook page about what if, I forgot what happened.
What if it's not him wearing the mask, it's someone else?
Yes, and Dave's like, oh my God, that's what we were literally just talking about. What if it's somebody else? Which is quite possible. I know that I know who this is, but I'm going to ask you. Have the poster up?
I've got the poster up, yeah.
Okay, so down below Poe, it's supposed to be Lando, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, it's Lando. He's like got the yellow shirt. He's got a cape. He's got a cane.
Yeah.
That's freaking
so
Lando.
The face to me does not look like Lando at all. Does not look like Billy D. Williams at all.
You know what? Billy D had a little work done. Leave him alone. He's trying to stay youthful and fresh. Dang, why you be talking crap about Billy D?
You get the Knights of Ren.
Lando's
you get droids. You got C-3PO. You got D-O. You got BB-8.
Let's see how you look in 40 years. I gotta get Lando's back, man.
He was working out. He was working out to get back in the movie.
But still, I gotta get Lando's back, man. He's a man.
You got a separation of the light and the dark side. We get the Knights of Ren on the bottom right. You get Zori Bliss. You get Hux. Like, this poster is full. Like, yin and yang, light and dark side.
Unlike the
here.
Empire. No, not the Empire. Unlike the Entertainment Weekly prequel cover that they released pretty soon. Yeah, it's full. Unlike that one, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm still sore about that.
We'll be hearing about this for 2 years.
I'm just saying, like, you're gonna load up the original trilogy one and the sequel one, but then you're gonna have the prequel one bare. Like, come on, I'm not even a prequel lover, and I don't like the way they did that. But I digress.
So anyway, international poster. It's out there. It's on our Facebook page. There was 2 that was released. This very detailed one, and then the other one that just shows Kylo and Rey. Kind of a poster that we've seen before with them fighting on the ship in the water with the turrets next to them. I say that word every time I can because Dave is proud of me for remembering.
Yeah, it's a big ordeal, guys. We can't get into it right now, but yeah, I'm proud of him.
Anyway, really cool stuff. Also, Dave, I know you love this.
Okay, talk to me.
The novelization. Did you see the cover?
I did see the novelization, and it is the first poster that we got for Rise of Skywalker, which is Rey and Kylo going at it on top of this wreckage thing. And it's written by Ray Carson. So unfortunately, we got to wait a while for this novelization. I think it's coming out like March, right?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
You do have to wait a while.
That's ridiculous.
Is it on pre-order for you already?
You know, not yet. I may put that on my Christmas wish list.
Here we go again.
I'm just saying. I may just put books on my Christmas wish list. It's easy. It's convenient. I can get them sent to my my P.O. box. It's awesome. I ain't got to worry about it.
It's P.O. Box. Dave loves his P.O. Box, by the way,
Hey, the
guys.
PO box is convenient. I ain't got to worry about people marking packages on my doorstep. It's great.
All right. So you also got now I know the editor likes these. Got some Build-A-Bear
Some Builder Bear action.
items came out. Yeah. You got Darth Vader. You got the Sith Trooper, which, if I may say so, looks pretty beast.
Are you gonna get a Sith
I'm not
Trooper?
gonna get a Sith Trooper, but I think it
Dude,
looks pretty beast.
dude, you want to upgrade your Winnie the Pooh with a Sith Trooper?
Oh dear Jesus, guys! Before you start asking questions, the Winnie the Pooh story is like a very long, drawn out story that we cannot get into on the air because it makes John look really bad. So we'll
But
just
if
leave it
but if
alone.
enough people join Patreon and ask about it, I will tell that story all day. So just throwing that out there, guys. Just throwing it out there.
Yes, if enough people sign up for the Patreon, Dave and I will do a video where we just talk about the Winnie the Pooh. There you go.
Ladies and
Um,
gentlemen, please sign up for Patreon so you can hear the behind the scenes Winnie the Pooh talk. And if we end up having to do a Patreon episode about it, I feel it's only fair to upgrade Winnie the Pooh to that Sith Trooper. Just throwing that out there.
we will do that.
Okay, fair enough.
You can also find out our deep dive episode on the first episode of The Mandalorian. Completely spoilers in that show. So just be aware of that, but you have to sign up for the Padawan Apprentice
There you go.
level. Look at me. So there. Another cool Build-A-Bear option for you. You get the Kylo Ren bear with the Kasuki mask.
Hey, are you gonna start getting a Build-A-Bear collection?
So I'm not going to get a Build-A-Bear collection, but I will say that Sith Trooper and the Kylo Ren looks pretty beast. Like, I am surprised at how well it looks.
I'm surprised you didn't buy the Sith Trooper Black Series figure when it came out. That thing looks awesome.
Dave, that's a slippery slope. Then you
I
start
know.
getting
Look,
into buying.
they're
Look at
behind me. They're behind me. Look at that.
Dave, like, what's that white box?
That one, that is the Kylo Ren First Edition Supreme Leader. Yep, with the Kansuki mask.
Yes. So the reason that Dave does not invest in Funkos, for one, he doesn't like them. He doesn't like the way they look, but there are a few that he really likes, but he's have to be a completionist and get all of them. So the same reason why Dave doesn't invest in Funkos, I don't invest in Black Series figures.
But you can only get the Black Series figures you want. You don't have to get them all.
I don't know.
You can do
I
that.
still
You
feel.
can just get characters that are near and dear to your hat. To your hat,
I know
John.
you can. I know you can. But I still feel, Dave, that you have entered this agreement with the Black Series figures collection of America. And you're going to go down a path that you're going to end up buying ones that you may not even like, but you just like, I need it because it complements this item or this item. I know you.
No.
I know you.
As of right now, I only have 13 Black Series figures.
He only has 13 Black Series figures because his favorite number is 13, guys, by the way.
Actually, that was a strange but awesome coincidence. Regardless, what else is on the agenda, John? Let's
I'm
not talk
buying him a
about.
14th one. I'm buying him a 14th one.
I'll send you a list of Black Series figures I want. I'm fine with this.
Anyway, movie posters have also released for The Rise of Skywalker with each character figure on them, posted on our social media pages. You can check those out. And the final thing on The Rise of Skywalker that I want to talk about for now, for this show, Empire Magazine, dude. These covers have been released. There's a total of 3 covers that are being released for Empire Magazine. Thoughts, reactions, overall, how do you feel? Is it better than Entertainment Weekly's magazines?
You know what? I think it is because that Knights of Ren cover is awesome. I just can't stop looking at that, which is variant number 3, where it has
Yes.
Kylo standing in front of his 6 Knights of Ren, you know, Jebediah, Bartholomew, Quincy, all the Knights of Ren that we know in the background. All his bros, all his broskies. It just looks awesome, and like I can't stop looking at it and the level of detail that are in the Knights of Ren like armor. It blows me away. I can't wait to see more out of these guys in the upcoming film.
So, Dave, let me ask you this: So, we've been getting a lot more from the Knights of Ren? We got a magazine cover now dedicated just to them. We have in the last TV spot, we had a shot of the Knights of Ren on a hill or sand or in the mountains or somewhere. Do you think that because my opinion was that they were going to be talked up, talk of the town, and then all of a sudden nothing, not going to do anything cool? Do you feel that we're actually going to get, or you're just like, you know what, anything that we get from the Knights of Ren, I'll be okay with?
You know what? Anything we get is gonna be awesome. Um, they're not gonna go in depth. They're not gonna give us the origins of the Knights of Ren. I think that's what that comic book is all about. That comes out December, whatever. I don't even remember the date on it anymore.
I think
But
it's the 18th.
I wanted to say it was close to that time. Yeah, I think that's what's gonna give you your big overview of the Knights of Ren. They're they made that comic book for a reason. For the people that really, really, really want to know more about these guys, to check it out. And I think that's what you got to do if you want more info. Yeah, they're not going to be completely throwaway characters, but you're not going to know the idiosyncrasies of the knights. You're not going to know this one's the pyro. This is the one that has anger problems. This one doesn't speak. This one, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to know that. You're not going to know, like, oh, this one likes Nerf steak. You know, it's just something that we're not going to hear about. But looking at the Empire cover, and let's just stick with the Knights of Ren for a second. Which one is your favorite visually, John?
So before I answer that, I will tell you that this is my most favorite cover.
It's a beautiful freaking cover.
It's amazing cover. You know, the one that draws my attention is the third from left, where you can actually make out the facial structure of the knight.
The one right over Kylo's right shoulder?
See, yes.
Okay. That one has a very Japanese samurai-looking mask, if you ask me.
Yes, I agree.
Like, I just get that vibe.
Which one's yours?
Maybe because I watched The Last Samurai a lot. My favorite one. Do you want to take a guess or no? Let's see what you get.
I feel like it's either going to be the number 2 guy, which is in front of the guy that I picked, or the very last guy with the looks like he's got a blade or something behind his helmet.
The one right under the R? In
No.
Empire? No, which one?
The one to the right.
The right of what?
The under the E.
The one that's got the gun over his shoulder?
Yes.
He threw me off when you said the blade over his shoulder. I'm like, that's a gun. That one does look cool, but I think I'm prone to the one on the far right underneath the E for Empire. The first E.
Oh, I was like, that's the one I said. Okay.
I don't know, just something about like that guy. He's got a cloak. He's got like the things coming down on the front. Part of his like cloak jacket. The mask looks very, very skull-like. I don't know. I dig it. That's my knight. I can't even see what kind of weapon he's got, but that's my pick.
It also looks like he's set further back than all the other knights.
In my mind, he's like the sniper knight. He's the knight that likes using like long range tactics, but I have no idea. I'm just talking out.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I was like. He's either the guy that's like, I don't need this. I don't need Kylo Ren to tell me what to do. Like, I'm my own person, blah, blah, blah. But he's like also very, like, he's set back from the rest. So it means he could be a loner. Like, that's the things that are going through my mind. So I could see the sniper thing.
I just think he's the guy that watches out for everybody. He's the next in command. In my mind, it's probably not. It's probably the furthest from the truth. He's probably like the Omega, but whatever. Well, why do you laugh?
Just the way he's probably like the Omega, but it's just in my mind.
That guy looks like a beast. In my mind, like every time he comes on screen, I'm gonna punch you in the shoulder. I'm like, John, look. Knights of Ren aside, the cover 2 with Poe, Leia, R2, 3PO, and Lando.
Yep,
I like that one. I like it.
I like
it's
the
simple.
Background setting.
The stars.
I like the stars. I like the mountains. I just like the setting behind them overall. It seems very calming. Leia looks like she's about ready to kill somebody. Like
that's Leia though.
Yeah, she's looked like I'm ready.
I love how they put Carrie and Oscar Isaac on the same cover because they had a really good like back and forth relationship. Apparently,
They did?
Oscar Isaac like was really close to her on set. talking a lot, just soaking up the knowledge and stories and experience. So I liked how they did that.
Um, it also looks like Billy D. Williams has a small like smirk on his face.
That's just Billy
Maybe
D.
that's what I'm saying though. Like it just like that's the character of Lando. Like he just got that small smirk on his face. Like we about to be up to no good. We're about to do some things that probably are not good.
I love it.
Great cover. I like the Leia and Poe reference that you made. But I don't know. I just like the background. I just think the background is awesome and the setting looks pretty cool. So,
Okay.
all right.
And then the first cover, it's with the yellow lettering with Janna, Chewie, Rose, our boy Finn, and Rey with the two new droids.
Yeah, Dio, BB-8, and then you got. Did you mention Chewbacca?
Yeah, of course. Cannot mention Chewie. You gotta love
With
it.
his bowcaster.
Yeah.
Very different setting than any of the other two, which they're all three are very, very different. But this one is completely different. It's not as dark. It's more light. I'm trying to think of. Looks it seems like this is more of the calming cover. It's more of the one that's like, okay, we're going to put your mind at ease. Rose got a small smirk on her face. They kind of look like, we're not going to get in too much trouble.
I don't see Rose smirking at all. She just looks angry as hell. She's like, they cut my screen time. Like, she's angry. Like, she ain't happy at all on that cover. What are you talking
Dave
about?
Goes to. They cut my screen time.
Like, she ain't happy at all in that picture. Boyega's giving that brooding look. Chewie's roaring as always. Newcomer Janna just standing there with that bow blaster thing that she's got. I have no idea what it is, but I can't wait to see it. And you get the two new droids there.
Yeah, so I'm really interested in her character, especially since we see them riding on the
Let's see if you get it. Let's see if you get it.
The horse things.
Orbox.
I was gonna say alpaca, which would have kind of been close.
No, that's a real thing. Yeah,
I know.
Alpacas are real. Orbox
riding on the ship, but overall, I'm interested in her character and I want to know more about her, and kind of what her role is as she plays through this movie.
I'm just glad to see Finn looking like a beast. Looks like he's confident. He's got that blaster out. He's rocking some blue pants, man. You gotta respect a man that wears blue pants. It ain't easy to pull off. It ain't easy to pull off. Do you ever wear blue pants, John?
I wear blue jeans, not blue pants.
Exactly. Yeah, you gotta wear a pair of blue dress pants. It'll change your life, man. I'm telling you. Anyways, what else we got left?
And then there's a couple of other covers that you're getting.
Right, yeah.
There are subscriber exclusive covers designed by Paul Shipper, who many of you may have known as from his poster variants for the Saga films. This is a very basic cover, in my opinion. It gives you a lot of details, but somewhat basic. You got
those are two completely contradicting things. It's got a lot of detail, but it's basic.
Well, it's not. It doesn't have a lot of people on it. It doesn't have a lot of like different characters and things like on it. It's literally got light and dark side, Kylo Ren's lightsaber, Rey's lightsaber. You got both of their hands. It looks like the Emperor is in the background.
Yeah.
Okay. It just says Empire on the top of it. They got stars. Literally all it is.
That's a lot going on, though.
When you look at the level of detail they put into the people and the characters on the other ones, that's why I said doesn't have a whole lot going on. It is a big reveal in the back, though, with the Emperor, though.
I don't know, man. This one looks pretty sick.
Are you a subscriber?
I'm not, but I know a guy.
You also get there's additional covers or bonus magazine that comes with the issue for the Skywalker saga. It's the photo of Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher from the original film. Mark holding a lightsaber, holding Carrie Fisher. And then there's issue will also come with an art card inside of Dark Rey.
That's pretty sweet.
So, big question, Dave. Are you picking this up?
I think I might have to get the Knight of Ren one, man.
Okay. So, I know you're the completionist. Are you going to get all three just to have them, or do you just want the Knights of Ren?
I just want the Knights of Ren one, but I think I might have to pick up all of them just so I'm whole. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Because again, the OCD will kick in one day, and then all those magazines will be impossible to find, and I'm gonna have to pay a 200% markup on eBay to some guy that's living in his mom's basement, and he's got like 20 of these things because he cleared out a local newsstand, and all he's doing is buying Hot Pockets and Black Series figures with my money. I'm just saying, I foresee this, and I'm not gonna let it happen. Not let him get my money, John.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is David's detailed imagination that he has. He sometimes lets it run away. Dave, before we go off the Rise of Skywalker, anything further like you want to bring up on the TV spots? Like I said, I saw the TV spots. There's so many of them, but the most recent one that I saw was the Knights of Ren one. Did you pick out anything else that is like it caught your eye? Anything else? Just want to make sure.
You know, I just think so the one where Kylo Ren is standing back to back with like what looks like a Ninja Turtle. Have you seen that shot? No?
No, I don't think so.
I'm gonna send it to you right now. Stay by your phone. It looks like he's standing back to back with a Ninja Turtle. I know it's not a Ninja Turtle because that's a completely different other universe, but it looks like there's one. But what I think actually happens is I think he impales him from the back with his saber held differently, not his traditional stance.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Because we see him, spinning it and holding it differently when he's going towards Rey in the scene where there's the water and Finn yells Rey, like always.
I love your Ninja Turtle.
You tell me he doesn't look like a Ninja Turtle?
He does look like a Ninja Turtle.
Okay. But dude, I can't wait to see this scene where Kylo's in the shit. He's on the front lines and he's just taking names and beating people up. Like, I think that's going to just be an amazing scene. They still framed it. Someone did, and I captured the screenshot off of them. But you see a screenshot of on top of an Imperial Star Destroyer. And if you look closely, you can see that there's also Sith troopers on top of this Imperial Star Destroyer. So
no.
At some point, the Orbox, Janna, Finn are going to be coming face to face with Sith troopers on top of the Imperial Star Destroyers and waging battle while there's X-Wings and TIE fighters flying above. It's just going to be insane, man. Like, these are the small little details that I was able to see with the help of other people screenshotting them and posting them.
Do you still look at those Star Destroyers? Dude, you can still see in this shot how many there. Like, there's tons of them.
It's going to be awesome, man. It really is. It's going to be. I think I'm going to feel the way I did when I saw the movie The Raid Redemption. And what I mean by that, John, is in the movie The Raid Redemption, for those of you that have not seen it, it is a fast-paced martial arts movie with subtitles. If you don't like subtitles, you're not going to dig it, but you should still watch it because the fight scenes are intense. There's a fight scene, John, where two guys go head-to-head with this little short dude. I think they call him like the Dog or Mad Dog or something. Which, ironically enough, the guys from The Raid Redemption, The Raid, are in Force Awakens as the Guavian Death Gang.
No.
Yeah. Dude, like, so this fight scene, it is exhausting, and like I'm watching the fight scene and I'm like, oh my god, I'm tired. Like, this is just like, when's it gonna end? Like, oh my god, that's so cool. I think that's how we're gonna feel the last like 20-30 minutes of this movie, where it's just gonna be an onslaught on your eye peepers that's just gonna like destroy you. And you're going to be like, oh my god, I can't keep up. We're in space. We're over here. There's a Sith trooper flying. There's an Orbok that just cried. BB-8 just got blasted and he's rolling in midair. And Dio is like freaking out. And I just think it's going to be intense, man. Like, it's going to be endgame status ending, where there's just so much chaos going on. And I can't wait. I can't wait.
Eye peepers.
Eye peepers. just gonna get crazy, John. Are you ready for it?
It's gonna be crazy. I bought 4 seats, and I'm sitting 2 seats down from you.
You should refund those and with that other 4 seats by our 4th showing of the movie.
No,
Yes.
I don't want to sit next to you. My arm's gonna hurt.
It's okay. I'll sit on the. I'll keep rotating every time we watch the movie. What about you? Did you have anything else?
No, like I said, I watch the TV spots and I watch them over and over again. But I've seen. I don't think I've seen all the TV spots, but I've seen quite a bit of them. It moves so fast that you literally have to watch it on like pause play, just to be able to see all the little details. Some like that, the Sith troopers, and the Kylo Ren with the Ninja Turtle guy. Like those are things that happen so quickly that you don't realize they're happening because it moves so quickly. But no, I'm just excited. I'm wondering what JJ's going to share with Good Morning America. That's all I want to know.
Okay, right now, is JJ coming alone, or are there going to be characters with him? Is he walking into that studio, Times Square, whatever it is? Is he walking in there with a crew, or is he just walking in there by himself? Right now, call it, John, before it airs.
He's
tomorrow.
walking in with the crew. It's in Times Square.
Okay, who's he walking in with? Is he walking in with
that?
No. That's what I'm
He's
asking.
He's not coming in with the Knights of Ren. I don't feel he'll come in. I feel like it'll be stormtroopers. It may be the Sith troopers.
Call it right now. What is he doing?
I'm calling the Sith troopers.
He's
walking in with the Sith troopers. Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
It's Times Square.
I'm gonna go
coming in with somebody.
I'm gonna go with a combo platter. Okay, we're gonna do fish and chips right here. We're gonna have the Sith troopers with the Knights of Ren. JJ's doing it big. JJ loves the Knights of Ren. He created them. He brought them into the Force Awakens. He's not gonna. Nah, I want him to bring these guys into Times Square. How freaking wild is it gonna be? I'm gonna wake up early. I'm gonna watch Good Morning America. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Before you go to work, you're an adult and watch Good Morning
I'm an
America.
adult. I'm not gonna have coffee because I don't like coffee. But I'm an adult. I'm just gonna sit there with some
like
eggs,
a little kid
with some eggs, and just hang out.
His Coke. I'm drinking his Coke.
Anyway, in my mind, I want him rolling deep. Knights of Ren, and some Sith troopers.
It's in Times Square. He's bringing somebody with him. There's gonna be something. There's gonna be a little show. I don't care what anybody says. Something's gonna happen. So we'll wait and see.
Randomly, he brings up Baby Yoda.
Dear Jesus.
No, he just pulls him out of his pocket.
Now we're just going across like lines here.
And the Mandalorian just comes out of nowhere on a jetpack. No.
He did mention he needs to get one of those.
Spoilers. But yeah, I don't. But who doesn't want a jetpack?
Anyway, so Rise of Skywalker, less than a month away. Stay tuned, guys. We are excited, and we'll keep you posted because I'm sure more and more information is going to continue to come out about this.
It's 3 or 4 weeks away. I don't remember. I just know it's like
it's like 3-ish,
3.5.
It's like
We'll go 3. We'll go 3.
We'll go 3.5. All right, some just quick other things before we get to the big part of our show that Dave's been like dying to talk about for like 3 days, and I won't talk about it with him.
This is the way.
I haven't seen it.
This is the way.
We just there was an announcement that we will be getting a Chewbacca and C-3PO Black Series figure that will release on December 20th. It's a combo pack, so you can check that out. Also,
so what? Hold on. What is this Black Series combo pack you're talking about? Don't just go over it, man. I'm trying to get into Black Series. I don't know if I need to pick this one up or not. You gotta give me some deets.
You're not gonna pick it up.
You gotta give me some deets. Maybe you change my mind. You talk about it. Maybe I'm down.
Literally Chewbacca and C-3PO. You got the net that he carries C-3PO in Empire Strikes Back, and you can take C-3PO apart.
That's what I need to know. That's what I need to know.
Chewie's got a blaster.
Is it Rise of Skywalker, Chewie and 3PO? Is it what? You just told me right
Empire.
now. It's Empire. Now I know. I'm not gonna buy it, but still.
You weren't gonna buy it
I felt
anyway.
like you needed to tell me. You were passing over all the juicy deets.
I know you weren't gonna buy it.
Nah, you don't know.
I know you.
I might buy the 3PO with Babu Frick in it. Who knows? Okay.
Oh dear Jesus! With the red eyes, that would actually be kind of cool.
They have
Hasbro. If you haven't thought of it, there it is.
No, I'm telling you, it's there.
The C-3PO with Babu Frick.
Yeah. You can buy it at
The
Target.
red eyes. Oh,
I done seen it.
no.
I done seen it. Anyways, continue.
Star Wars Legion. Dave, I keep asking him if he's giving me hints or if he's like, I need you to post this for news.
It's both.
Game is coming out. The paint, the art, like
So what
paint
game is coming out?
set.
Because there's already Legion's already out.
It's Clone
What is
Wars.
this? There you
It's
go.
Clone Wars.
There you go. You didn't tell me.
Clone Wars.
Got me reading minds, John. Just because I'm a Dark Lord of the Sith doesn't mean I need to do that all the time. I don't want to be on, John. You gotta give me the deeds.
You can close yourself off from the Force so people can't find you.
Exactly. Just turn it on and off.
People can find you.
No, they can't. I can live off the grid. I've done it before.
Star Wars Clone Wars, Star Wars Legion coming out. The art and action figure sets are coming out as well. Paint sets so you can paint your little guys however you want. You know what? If you love Star Wars: The Clone Wars and you're like, hey, I want to be in the action, I want to change the course of this fight, you can do it.
Get General Grievous
and 4 to 6 other friends can make this happen.
I don't think you need.
I don't know if it's 4 to. I don't know if it's 4 to 6 other
many.
players. I don't think it's that many players. But so Dave and I saw this at Star Wars Celebration. We've been talking about it. There was a lot of things going on. Dave was moving into a new casa. I was trying to find a new casa now. Deal fell through. Things going on.
Deal fell through. The guy doesn't have legs anymore. He's like C-3PO in Empire. He's living in a little bag on Chewie's back. It's ridiculous.
So having to find a new casa, find locations, find places to live. Dave was trying to set up for space. And so, yeah, it's just David. So here's Dave's problem. Dave has problems.
I didn't know I had a problem.
Several problems. His hair is one.
Oh, that's not a problem.
The fact that he's like, this is my money maker is the other one. But anyway, we digress. Dave, as we mentioned, can't do something just like a little bit. So if Dave gets Star Wars Legion, he's going to want to build little trees. He's going to want to build little huts.
Little
he's going to want
dioramas.
to build little things. And then he's going to want to paint so intricately. And then he's going to sit there and I'm going to get mad because I'm like, this isn't working right. You have no patience, John. You get so like throwing your hands up in the air and get so upset. When in reality, Dave is the exact same way. Dave knows he's the exact same way. Dave just doesn't showcase it like John does. I'm very outward. Dave just looks at it and says,
that's the path to the dark side, John.
He said, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go run some errands. I'm going to eat some hot Cheetos and watch a TV show. Or I'm going to play Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Like, that's what Dave does.
How am I the dark side user and I have more patience than the light side user? Explain that to me. Explain that to me.
He says he has patience, guys.
You said you flail, you get angry.
I flare and get angry, but Dave has his patience are small. Just FYI.
Your patience are small.
So Dave sits here and he's like, I'm gonna want to paint.
I
get little trees. And like Dave will focus on this. Like I guarantee you, if we say we're gonna do this, like we'll be podcasting, all of a sudden you'll see a paintbrush and Dave's sitting over here like, what were we talking about? My little guy, General Grievous, right here.
It'd be awesome.
And I got Darth Maul right here. And
it sounds like a good time. It sounds like a good time. If somebody out there is listening and they're into Legion and they want to hit me up, give me a crash course, they're going to convince me to buy it or convince me to tell John that I want him to buy it for me for Christmas, please do so. The time is now. Don't forget, Amazon, you can go ahead and get that 2-day shipping with Prime and all that other good stuff. So I still got time to change my mind on my Christmas present.
Yes, he does. Because he already sent me his Christmas present.
Which I think I might change it.
Because the gift I was going to give him, mind you, I was like, Dave, I'm going to give you this gift because, like, you're going to need some. It's tools. It's nothing fancy.
So you make it sound like it's like narcotics
we tell
or
each
something.
other. Well, I tell him what he's going to get because usually I never know what to buy him because he's like so wishy-washy about things, and usually he gets me Winnie the Pooh things. But anyway, long story.
Listen to Patreon.
Sign up for Patreon. I'll tell you. But Dave will send me, this is what I want. Well, usually when Dave says this is what I want, I think of like, oh man, I'm going to get him this Carolina Panthers blanket. And I'm thinking it's the greatest idea. And then I give it to him. He's like, why would you buy me this?
I've never told you that.
It's got the Carolina Panthers on it. You're like, yeah, but it's a blanket. I would never use this. Like, why would you buy this for me? Why?
I've never said that about any gifts that you bought me.
Maybe it's in my mind that I read these things, and that's why I don't like this. But anyway, needless to
Well,
say,
I'm just throwing it out there. I don't want a blanket. Just if that's on your list and you're fishing right now, I'm telling you right now, I don't want a blanket. They've got a losing season, but I will take a Christian McCaffrey jersey.
no, I'm not buying you a jersey.
MVP right there.
Regardless,
MVP. Saying it right now. Christian McCaffrey. He's gonna get that MVP.
anyway, FYI, send Dave a Christmas gift. He may send it back. Who knows?
Nah. Anyway.
Moving on. So, Dave, this is like we're done with like the toy section, but other things. Did you know that Disney was testing X-wing drones?
Oh, I read about it. How
So,
freaking awesome is that?
so the article said that we may never get to actually see them. That they're for like Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. They've kind of done some modifications in the employee parking lot. They've taken down light poles, brought in temporary lighting so they can take them down during the day. There's like a production tent. They got approval from the FAA to be able to do this. These look sick. We posted the pictures on my social media. Like I'm thinking like itty bitty little drones.
No, they're the size of SUVs, my man.
Yes, they're beast. I'm like, I want one. I
John,
don't know where I would park it, but I want one.
you need a landing pad at your new house. Tell your realtor that's what you need. Um, my thing is, are they also working on TIE fighters? They haven't said anything
Like a
yet.
battle scene.
Like you got two X-wings flying, and then you got some TIE fighters behind them. Just throwing it out there. How awesome would that be?
So you've never been to Disney.
I
You've never
have.
been to Disney. We're going next year.
Yeah,
So
we are.
you don't know what like Disney goes through to give you a show at the end of the night. The light parade, the fireworks, like Cinderella's castle, which I'm like, you're like, yeah, whatever. If you don't go for anything else, go for the fireworks. Like I'm telling you, they spare no expense on this show.
Okay,
like,
John Hammond.
It's epic. Epic. Just epic. So anyway, X-wing drones. Hopefully, we get some more information on that. But they're huge. They're cool. Let's move on.
How giddy would you be if we're there in the park and you see a full out X-wing flying over your head?
I'd freak out, and then all of a sudden, they'd be like, "Where's the TIE fighter?"
Yeah, I would. I'd be a little sad about that. But I love the sound of the TIE fighter, like that scream sound that it has.
Oh,
Goes
it
through
is
there. I
pretty
love
cool.
that. Oh my god, it just sounds so beast. It's ridiculous.
All right. One other thing in other news before we get to the main event.
Before we get to the juicy treats,
Kathleen Kennedy has confirmed that there is a movie on the books for 2020.
2020.
No, sorry, 2022.
2022.
My bad.
That was what,
My bad.
22.
My bad. And it's not Rian Johnson's movie. The reason I wrote down 2020 is because they're looking to give an announcement in January of 2020. That's why I said 2020. Because they want to get through the Rise of Skywalker first. That is their sole focus outside of that right now. Nothing else matters. Very little details. All we know is it's not Rihan's. Could this be a chance for Dave Filoni to break into the movie franchise for Star Wars or Jon Favreau?
Everyone's thinking that they're gonna team up, man. It's gonna be a dynamic duo. It's the Russo brothers.
The article.
Fav and Filoni.
Russo brothers.
Fav and Filoni. Oh man.
F and F.
Yeah.
The article also did state that Jon Favreau may be more of an influential part in future Star Wars projects after The Mandalorian. And he may be a bigger influence than we originally would have thought. So, see what happens. I would not be opposed to Jon Favreau having more input on Star Wars stuff.
So, just bear with me here. Okay, let's say I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't want Kathleen Kennedy to step away from Lucasfilm or Star Wars, but she's got to hand the reins over to somebody. She's got Kevin Feige in the room, Dave Filoni, and Jon Favreau. Who is your pick to take over for like the creative process and direction, and help to oversee future projects? Who are you picking and why? Dead air, as John ponders.
I am going to go with This is hard for me because I read something in an article that made me really think about the fact, or no, somebody posted it as a comment on our Facebook page. Okay,
Okay, talk to me.
I'm gonna go Kevin Feige.
You're going Feigs.
Here's why.
Okay,
Here's why.
I'm listening.
One of our listeners made a comment about the fact that it won't be Filoni because then that would take him away from the creativity that he brings to the Star Wars franchise, along with the stories, and it would take him away from the ability to be able to do that, where he would have to then begin to oversee the day-to-day operations, getting projects set in motion, hiring people, but he wouldn't be able to necessarily be as in-depth in the creativity of a new show, of something like that for right now. I think Jon Favreau is the same way. He is a creative mindset. He's a director. He's a writer. He's somebody who likes to be in the trenches and develop the story and everything else. Both of them, as much as I would love to see both of them move to those ranks, I think Kevin Feige is a better person to oversee the day-to-day operations and the overview of Lucasfilms if Kathleen Kennedy steps away and leave John and Filoni to be the creative masterminds to bring us Star Wars.
You know what? That's a solid point. It really is. I don't think Filoni is ready for a move like that yet. I think he's good where he's at. Get him more experience. Get him to dabble more in live action. You know, Resistance hasn't been a hit. He played a hand in that. You know, not everything's a winner that he's put his stamp on. But then you have to ask yourself, is it the story? Is it the content? Or is the fact that he didn't get enough time to help mature that show along? I don't know. But first season, it was good, but it didn't steal the show. Not like anywhere near Rebels or Clone Wars. But again, it didn't have the time to mature. Fav, he's only written this thing. He hasn't directed an episode. And he's the creative force behind the show. And John, this sounds ridiculous and weird when I say it, but this show feels right. Like every time I'm watching it, like I've got a giddy smile on my face. I'm like, oh my God, look at that. Oh, look at the way they intertwined this. You know, yes, we've complained. And when I say complained, we've made comments. Like I'm not like posting and writing to my senator about this, but the episodes have been a little short. But they don't feel short. They feel full. They feel lush. They're fully flushed out. And I think Fav could have that same tongue-in-cheek with other projects. Because he's got a love for Star Wars just as much as Filoni. Just as much as Feige, I'm sure. But the guy is working on Christmas. Sending them treatments of the show that we're watching today. That he's worked out in his head. When he should be with his family, hanging out, all this other stuff. He's writing Star Wars scripts. That's dedication. I'd love to see what that guy could do with full control over this property. Probably not going to happen, but just saying. Just saying. Your silence is scaring me, John. Use your words.
I was just going to say, great point as well. Both are very valid points. Both are very great arguments. I personally don't think Kathleen Kennedy is going to be stepping away anytime soon.
Think so either.
I think her contract is up in 2021.
I
believe I read. No, I think it's 2021. I don't think it's 2020. Because she was going to get us through the Rise of Skywalker and then start, and then I think that was going to be it, if I remember reading the article.
That's 2020.
Correctly.
Because Rise of Skywalker comes out in 2019.
I don't think it's 2020.
Either way, we know Feige, if he was the man for the job, he knows how to plan. He planned and orchestrated the events of the MCU the last 10 years worth of movies. So don't get me wrong, he understands the long game as well. So either one of those guys, Fav or Filoni, would be an awesome. I mean, not Fav. Feige, Filoni, and Favreau. All F's. Just throwing that out there.
All F's. The other thing to think about too is what is it? What's the lady that Kathleen Kennedy hired and now is her second in command?
Oh yeah, I forget the name.
John. I think that name's wrong. But anyway, there also is her. But again, she hasn't done any other project or property prior to this, and then she was brought in as basically the second in command of Lucasfilm. So a lot of people were frustrated and upset about that. So we'll see what happens. Just to confirm, Kathleen Kennedy's contract ends in 2021.
There you go. All right, what do we got next, my man? What are we talking about?
So perfect segue, Dave, into episode 3, The Sin, The Mandalorian.
Oh, that movie. That
Guys,
episode.
We will do our best to keep the spoilers to a minimum.
We're talking spoilers. We can't. That episode was too badass not to talk about any spoilers. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this show and you've not seen Mandalorian, episode 3, The Sin, pause it, go watch the episode, then come back and listen to us chat about it, and yeah. We can't bypass it, John.
We'll do our best to minimize spoilers, but we cannot make any promises.
We can't.
So,
I have
spoilers
spoken.
beware. Spoilers beware.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Only hope. Only hope.
Oh my gosh. Where do we? Okay, John. Begin. Talk. Let's break open this bad boy. Let's talk about it.
Overall, great episode. 37 minutes, just shy of that. Total episode was 37 minutes with intro, recap, everything else, but just shy of that. I agree with you 100%. I was thinking about it as I was watching it, and I saw the time. These have been really, really short episodes. Is it enough? And in my opinion, regardless of how short they are, they have given us enough. I felt content after the episode ended. I had a feeling that the outcome of this episode was going to be what it was.
So
I had a feeling
before we talk about it. What do you rank this episode? So your episode 1 ranking, what was that?
Oh, I wrote it down for us.
I know you did. Let's see.
All right, so chapter 1 for you was an 8.
Okay.
It was an 8 for me. Chapter 2 was a 7 for you. I had it as a 6.
Okay. What's your vote for The Sin, episode 3? Let's see what you got, Johnny. I think I know what you're going to say, but I'm trying to see the willpower here. And what do you segue to?
I'm going to give it an 8.
You're going to give it an 8. You're saying it's as good as the first episode.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. I dig it. What do you think I'm coming in at?
I think you're going to come in at an 11 on a scale of 1 to 10.
You know, if 11 was possible, I'd give it an 11. But I'm going to go with a 9. I'm going with a 9. Hard 9. Hard 9. And for multiple reasons. From a storytelling perspective. From a visuals perspective. From a flushing out more of the Mandalorians and their culture perspective. And the fact that the dude looks beast in complete Beskar armor.
Oh my God. Yes.
I need that Black Series figure. I need that Black Series Beskar Mandalorian. Gotta have it. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to
let's start. Let's start first of all, because this is something that I didn't see. Dave probably thought he sent me the article or he read it somewhere very quickly and I didn't know. Uh-oh. This episode was directed by Deborah Chow.
Yeah, it was.
Deborah Chow is also the director for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. She is also, according to what Dave has shared with me, the first female director inside of Star Wars. And oh my gosh. Amazing job.
She did a phenomenal job.
Awesome. Phenomenal. And the first thing that Dave said to me was, first female director, did a phenomenal job. Does this open up the door for her to be so much more in the Star Wars universe, to come back as director? Could we see her in movies? She's got the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. What else could we see from Deborah Chow?
Like,
and I didn't know. Full disclosure, I did not know she directed the episode until the very end when I saw
the credits
credits
roll. Yeah.
direct, and I was like, wow. Like, I would have thought, okay, this had to have been Fab. This had to have been somebody else that we've already seen. It had to have been Filoni. We knew he directed the first one. And yeah, that information's out there, guys. I get it, blah, 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 whatever. But I didn't look it up. But I was like, no, there's no way. And then I was like, oh my God. Like, if this is what we saw from Deborah Chow, what the heck is the Obi-Wan Kenobi series going to be like? What?
And again, and we're not going to go in depth about it, but we've already talked about it before. It's great that she's going to be able to direct the entirety of the Obi-Wan series herself. So she's going to have her stamp on every episode. She's not going to be like, well, you know what, I didn't like the way they shot this, and if I shoot it in a different style, it's going to feel different. It's not going to have the same cohesion. No, that's not going to be an issue when she gets to Obi-Wan. I'm excited to see what she does with the next episode that she gets to shoot for The Mandalorian, which she is shooting another episode. Was it an episode like 7, I believe? I know I sent it to you a second ago.
I know. I'm just looking at it. So she is
Yep,
shooting
7.
episode 7, which airs the Wednesday before The Rise of Skywalker comes out in theaters. We have Bryce Dallas Howard that directs chapter 4, Dave Filoni chapter 5, Rick, I'm not going to try to butcher your name, chapter 6, and then Taika Waititi in chapter 8. I'm very proud I said his name correctly. Dave, segue real quick. I know we got stuff to talk about, but now that you sent this to me and I'm looking at it, I'm like, seriously? 8 episods?
Yeah,
like,
it's
December 27th? Like, I'm not going to go into the new year with, like, I'm not going to start, like, there's not going to be an episode in the beginning of the new year? Like,
no, you're going out big in 2019 with Rise of Skywalker and The Mandalorian. It's going to be glorious, man.
But yeah, episode, amazing, very good. I gave it an 8. Dave gave it a 9. I don't even know where to begin.
The opening scene with the damn cuteness of that little Yoda creature. It jumps out of the little bassinet and it takes the little knob off one of the controls and wants to play with it, like just seeing its little hand reach up. It's adorable. It's adorable for Force sake. And, the Mandalorian's just like, that's not a toy. Like, he tries to straight face it. He tries not to, be emotional and care for this kid thing. He tries not to. He tries to just think of it as a normal package, but he can't because the kid saved his life. Not only did the kid save his life, but he was a foundling as well. So there's an automatic little bit of connection there, regardless of species differential. He's thinking to himself, like, hey, like, somebody could have snuffed me out. Somebody could have sold me. I can't do this to this kid. Even more so, the kid saved my life. I don't know. Just thought it was adorable jumping out of the little bassinet.
And we get a little flashback of that too, of the Mandalorian's life and he had parents and where he was put, and it was in a war zone, and somebody found him.
Which we're gonna get in a second, though.
It resonates with him.
It does, and it pulls on his heartstrings, and that's where he's at. But going into town with the little bassinet thing, everyone's looking like, oh shit, this guy came back. He's got it. What'd you think of seeing Werner Herzog again?
As I said, so when I went to Disney
did you
Plus,
see the giant Imperial balloon that he's got?
Did.
Okay,
I did. So this time when I watched it, I was on Disney Plus, and I clicked it on, and the picture changed for me. It wasn't just the Mandalorian with like the sunset; it had Gina Carano on it, and I was like, oh, "Are we getting Gina Carano this episode?" Like, I was super excited. And but then I clicked on it, and in chapter 3, the picture that came up, it had Werner Herzog, and I was like, "Yes, let's see what happens now." So I was glad that we did get to see Werner Herzog's character again. I feel like this is not the end of Werner Herzog's character. I think we're going to see him again. I'm trying to think. Okay, I don't want to. I got to stop because I don't want to say something else.
No. Like we're
It's
talking.
no, but it's further in the episode. That's
Okay,
why
gotcha. I love the fact that Filoni, Fav, Deborah Chow, whoever the hell is bringing these Easter eggs into the show.
ton of them.
I love it. I love it. You know, first I got excited when I saw the little the droid that answers the door at Werner Herzog's place, the same one or the same style that answers at Jabba's palace.
Yep.
Love it. The fact that they are hearkening back to Empire Strikes Back, to the now named and infamous Wilro Hood scene. You know who I'm talking about, John? The guy in Empire Strikes Back that's evacuating Cloud City. And he's running with a homemade ice cream maker.
Oh, yes.
With a homemade ice cream maker, no one knows what the hell it is. Everyone's laughing because they recognize it as an ice cream maker. They're like, what the hell is that? Why is this in the movie? They just needed to have him hold something? That got brought into the Mandalorian Episode 3, The Sin, and it's a safe. It's a safe to hold valuables. Like, that was genius, whoever thought of that. And said, you know what? That's how we're gonna transport goods. It's gonna be in this little thing that was used in Empire Strikes Back, that everybody made fun of that guy. And we're gonna turn it into a pivotal scene that guy was running away with a safe. A small security box, cash, if you will. That was genius. I was blown away by that.
We also got a nod back to A New Hope with the Leia message and Carl Weathers messaging the Mandalorian. Same kind of small message, but it's a little.
You mean a hologram?
Yes, similar hologram that was also considered an Easter egg in the show.
You know, that's true.
Not as big as the
I
ice
didn't,
cream
I
maker,
didn't
though.
see it as big. I didn't see it as big at all because we see those kind of hollow communications in the movies, but definitely it was cool to see this one with Carl Weathers. But I was just blown away how they interwove that ice cream maker into it being a freaking safe.
So that's something that was a part of the Easter egg article that I posted on our social media, guys, that I told Dave, I was like, I'm not reading this. And you're like, come on, just do it. Like, you need to post it. I'm like, why can't you just post it? I'm not going to read this article to find out more information on something that I haven't seen. And once I read the article after I watched the episode, I would have been royally pissed if that was revealed that way to me. Royally.
Well, no,
because I'm like,
I get
I didn't even catch it. I didn't even catch it when I was like, why does this thing look so familiar? And I was like, and the fact that it's a little safe, like, that's pretty cool. And the way he carries it, too. And I'm just like, what is it? And then I was, like, reading through the Easter eggs before we started shooting, and I was like, oh, my God, yes. Yes. I was like, that, in my opinion, is probably the biggest Easter egg and the biggest throwback of the entire episode, in my opinion.
That might be the entire series. Thus far, because that was huge. That added so much more weight to that one scene that everybody used to laugh at. Hell, at Star Wars Celebration Chicago, they had a Wilro Hood run. Remember, everybody dressed up like Wilro Hood, running with ice cream makers throughout the friggin' convention center. That was awesome. And now we know that he was running with a mobile little safe, a little cache, a little lockbox. That one little detail went back and changed 20 years of Star Wars. Just think it's awesome. Anyways, I digress. Yeah. I thought that was awesome, but my man got some Beskar armor.
Some beastly. Like, when I told you the first time we saw the Beskar plate, I was like, there's no way that little plate is going to make his shoulder pad thing and then leave some left over for the fondling. And then I saw that he got all that, and I was like, wow, what are we going to be able to do with this?
So,
and what you see, is amazing.
So I knew he was gonna get his armor because one, his stuff got all jacked up fighting the Mudhorn and the
That was
Jawas
bad.
in episode 2. So I knew it was coming. I just didn't know if he was actually going to steal the Beskar armor or actually earn it from turning in the kid. Turns in the kid automatically. He tells Werner Herzog's character begrudgingly, "What are you doing with the kid?" And then that's when Werner
Which,
Herzog just turns it on and like adds a whole nother level of depth. With I'm gonna let you talk about on this one because that's your guy right there.
so turns it on, the whole other thing he said, and you can immediately tell that he's pissed off.
His
He
demeanor changes big time.
his demeanor changes. More stormtroopers walk in out of a side gate or back gate behind him or back door behind him. He continues like, one of the rules of the guild is that you don't ask questions. And that, like, and I forget exactly what he says, but he basically tells him, like, I am very surprised at the fact that you are going against what you stand for and who you are to ask the one thing, not the one thing, but the one rule that we say don't ever ask what's going to happen. Like, essentially puts him in his place like, dude, I can't believe you're going to question your integrity. You're going to question everything that you stand for just to ask what I'm going to do with him, which is the one rule that you don't ask.
Yeah. And, I don't remember the exact line, but he said something to the effect of, "You accepted the job, you've received payment." Like, that's it. End of story.
It like wipes it off the face of the earth. It's like it never existed.
Yeah.
Like this never happened. And until we meet again, we're going to act like this never occurred.
And
like,
and then you see like little baby Yoda's turn around and look and like go, oh, like make a little sound as like the last time he sees the Mandalorian before he goes in the back room.
The other thing that, like, so this is just me. Obviously, he's got a helmet on. The Mandalorian does.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel like even though in that moment I felt emotion on his face, I felt Pedro Pascal had emotion under that helmet as the baby's being taken away, and then he asked that question. Like, because in my mind, he asked that question for a reason. He had a concern that it was probably not going to be good. And then as you get in and he takes the Beskar payment, he goes back down to the hidden place of the Mandalorian and he meets the armorer again. You know, it's just one of those things where he's like, what is the Empire even doing here? Like, why? Like, it's gone. Like, what is this? Like, he starts questioning a lot of things. And at that point, I'm like, I feel like he has emotion. He has emotion under that mask. Maybe it's just me, but that's what I feel.
I think you're spot on, but I think you're forgetting one big detail that really leads to that emotion. Is when he's there, the stormtrooper grabs the little bassinet thing and moves it quickly or violently.
Oh yeah.
And the Mandalorian right away, hey, be careful. This is a man of few words. He hardly talks. He's handing over payment. He's gonna get paid, but he still cares enough to say, "Be careful." You know what I mean? Like that right there told me he cared for the kid. Looking in the kid's direction before really accepting that payment. That told me he cared for the kid. Don't get me wrong. You're bit also definitely caring for the kid, but I felt all of that led up to it, where that little like glance before the kid like goes into the back room, that sealed the deal. Where he was like, "This kid saved my life. They're gonna kill him. I can't let him die when he saved my life. I owe him." That's how I perceived it. And then when he was talking with Herzog, and Herzog was like, "Hey, dude, you don't ask questions. Like this is game over." In his mind, he's thinking he's gonna kill him. He's gonna kill him. I need to save this little dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. And then he walks into that coven, loaded up. As soon as he walks in there, all the Mandalorians, they look at him.
Look at his ice cream maker.
Yeah, they are. They're like, hey, shake that ice cream maker, my man. What do you got in there? He puts it down. Even the armorer was like, holy hell, this is a lot of armor. But I think the funny thing is, and I'm going to jump back real quick, is Werner Herzog's like, it's so easy to obtain the Beskar. It's more difficult to find a Mandalorian to carve it, to forge the armor. But little did he know that there's a den of them living on that planet. You know what I mean?
Underground.
Pretty much. I'm gonna let you take over. What happens next?
So he goes down. He goes to the armor, places it on in front of her. They open it up, and she starts taking the Beskar out. All of a sudden, the other Mandalorians that are in the cave, underground area, whatever, start walking into the room, and this one guy. And did we ever determine he had a name?
Yes, he does. Paz Vizsla.
Oh God, here we go. Paz Vizsla. So
Vizsla is spelled differently than pre-Vizsla, but I think there's still a connection.
It's a connection. It's a nod. So anyway, he starts, and I don't remember exactly all the lines he said, but he starts questioning him. If he's a real Mandalorian.
Well, not even that. He starts getting pissed because it's stamped with an Imperial symbol. And he's like, look at you. You're their errand boy after the purge, after what they've done to our people.
That's right.
You're baking bread with these a-holes that have almost made us live like damn rats underneath the ground. Like, this is an angry Mandalorian. And this dude is big. He's a big guy. Paz Vizsla, voiced by Jon Favreau. You gotta love it.
That's why we say there's a nod. There's a nod to pre-Vizsla guys. And so this is one of the articles that Dave also sent me that I was like, dude, this is wrong. Like, stop it. And he's like, just post it. Like, I'm done. And I'm like, this is wrong. And I said, you spoiled this for me. And he was like, no, I did. And then I listened. I watched the episode. I was like, oh, that's completely obvious. That's Jon Favreau. Like, I was like, I knew that Jon Favreau obviously was in the episode because it had been confirmed. But as soon as I heard him, I was like, that's it. This sounds exactly like the voice from pre-Vizsla. And I was like, so I know exactly that's Jon Favreau.
Then I love it. And they go at it, John.
Yeah.
Paz and, the Mandalorian, they go at it. They start pulling blades out on each other. You see armor scratches and like little sparks flying. It's a quick engagement, but the armor Mandalorian doesn't move. She doesn't move. She's the den mother. She runs that coven. She runs that coven, 100%. And all these other Mandalorians, they're just walking there, guns out, just looking beast with their cloaks, moving in the wind. Oh my God! Do you know how many Mandalorian cosplayers we're going to see at the next celebration? It's going to be ridiculous, John. And I'm going to take a picture with everyone, plus all the Knights of Ren guys that I see. But it's just awesome. They go at it, and she's just chill. She's letting the kids bicker. And then she tells him, how can he be a coward? He's living the Mandalorian way. He's fighting. He's never removed his helmet.
No one else has ever removed his helmet.
Yep. Which makes that scene in one of the trailers very pivotal, where the female, it looks like she wants to remove his helmet. It makes that scene that much more pivotal that we've heard this. But then it makes us question all the previous Mandalorians that we've had experience with. Pre-Vizsla, we could see his face all the time.
I immediately went to
Sabine Wren too. Yeah, we can see her face all the time. So are these guys sticking more closer to the original Mandalorian ideals? Or what? What exactly? What's the difference between the Mandalorians that we know from the animated featurettes to the live action? Any thoughts?
I think they're sticking more to the older traditions of the Mandalorian or a Mandalore, because in the comments, she even says, and this is why Dave is so good at the details of like the comments and things that they say. They come up and they don't chant, but they say like, what is it? This is
the way.
This is the way.
Oh, dude, when they
Like,
said that, dude, like I got chills. Oh man, I was
and so
lit.
in my opinion, that makes it go back to the point of, like, he's a Mandalorian just like the rest of us, regardless of the fact that there was the purge and everything else. I really feel like they follow the traditions of the older Mandalore, and they don't remove their helmets, and that's who they are. Um, and so, yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
You know, that scene was just awesome. You know, she gets him to calm down. She's like, "Hey, he's one of us. Through thick and thin, he's one of us. Yes, he's working with the Imperials. Yes, he got this bounty, but the armor is coming back home to Mandalorians where it belongs.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key. It's coming back home." And then she sparks another great saying for this show. This is the way. And then when you start hearing all the other Mandalorians in the room, this is the way. This is the way. Dude, I almost lost it. It like I told you before we started the show today. For me, it harkened back to Battlestar Galactica. So say we all. So say we all. Like, dude, it hit me. Was I the only one that felt that?
So now that you told me and then I heard you say it again, I was like, yeah, I could see this. So say we all. I didn't. So for me, it wasn't like I picked up on it and I was watching because I was like more excited about the fact like I just want to see this because everybody keeps talking about it. And then we also had an episode to shoot, and I didn't want it to get any later because we knew this episode was going to be longer than most. Since I was like, we got to get all this in, and yeah, it's. I didn't think that until you said something, and now that you just said it, I was like in my mind, I'm like I'm hearing. So say we all.
Like that. That's just so powerful when Adama says that. Like that's his way of reeling everybody back in and being like, "Hey, we're all on the same page." And that's exactly what she did when she said, "This is the way. This is the way." Like that squashed any beef in the room, and they bro hugged it out, and we're like, "Okay, we're good. Make me my armor." Like that's what I felt. That's how it came across to me.
And make his armor. She did. Beastly, awesome. We then see, like, while she's making the armor and she's hitting the hammer and she's kind of forging it, you get the flashback. You get the flashback where he was a kid. He was being held by his dad. They were running through like a war zone. Droids that were shooting, blowing up the city, bodies falling, walls falling, and they're just trying to get him to a little cellar area to keep him safe.
I think
And they get
I think it's awesome that every time he has a flashback, he's getting armor made.
I agree.
Those are
That's
the
what I
only
thought too.
times that we're getting flashbacks because I think for him, it's him pondering on his life. Like, okay, this is the next step in my life. This is where I'm going now. You know, I was a kid when I first got my first set of armor. And he was probably traumatized thinking about the past and how he got there. And now every time he sits in that chair and gets something built, it harkens back.
And
Okay.
it helps, and it really, and like it shows that like this is why I do what I do. This is why I became a Mandalorian. Like this is like no one's ever going to treat me like that again. No one's ever. That's what I feel, that he's like no one's ever going to act like this. No one's going to treat me like this. No one's going to tell me what I can and cannot do in life. Like this is what I'm going to do. That's what I feel. Is like it comes from is like I was what is it called? I was unprepared and I was unable to protect myself once. I won't let it happen again.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which symbolizes the armor.
Yeah. And, you know, she tells him, hey, you know what? I can make you some flying birds with some of the Beskar. And you're like, and right away he's like, oh, great. I love flying birds kind of thing. We don't know what that means at that point.
No.
We're like, okay, cool. He's getting flying birds. Like, I don't know what the hell that means, but I'm down. Real quick, they again mention, okay, oh, some are going to go to the Foundlings. Like, he brings it up. And she's like, of course, the Foundlings are, you know, the way we're going to keep moving forward and keep building our numbers. It's awesome that Werner Herzog referenced the child as a foundling in their exchange.
Mm.
So I think that's just a common term for orphan. It's not synonymous with Mandalorians only. I think it's just everybody that's an orphan is a foundling. Sorry, I just had to backtrack and throw that out there. But yeah, he gets his armor, looking slick. Goes back, meets my main man Carl Weathers, the master of disaster.
Who's boasting about the fact that he got the bounty, nobody else got the bounty, that everybody in the cantina had a fob, and he was the only one that brought him back, and he had the pick of the litter, and just like boasting and boasting and boasting, and it was like, and the Mandalorian's like, dude, I did a job. What's the next one? And then Carl Weathers is like, take some time off. We'll take you. I forget the place they said he was going to take him, but I felt this was an adult location.
It was. I think he said the Twi'lek bathhouse.
There you go.
Which I was like, yes, please. Twi'lek bathhouse?
Yeah,
I'll go.
Stay. And so I was just like, that's hilarious. And the Mandalorian's like, dude, just give me what it is. And then at this point, the Mandalorian also asked Carl Weathers, do you know what they're going to do with it? And he said, the first rule of the guild is you don't ask.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then he says, okay, and left alone. Got his pick of the litter. Knew what he picked his next bounty, and he left. Goes to a ship. And and in my mind the whole time he's just thinking in his mind like, I got to do something about this. Gets to a ship and finds a little ball thing that Baby Yoda took off. Goes to put it back on. Stops like he's going to take off. Shuts the ship off and walks back.
And then
at this point, I was like, I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. I knew he was going to save this child.
It just went freaking wild after that. Mandalorian. We're just gonna cut straight to the chase. He breaks in. He gets Baby Yoda. He shoots down an interrogation droid, which we see in A New Hope, that was trying to interrogate Leia. Shoots down that model, and right away the dude with the cloning patch is like, no, I'm here to save the kid. Like he'd be dead if it wasn't for me. Blah blah blah. He gets the little dude off the table. We don't know what exactly was happening. Whether they were just running a routine test, they were taking DNA. We don't know. But he grabs the kid and he makes a break for the door, just blasting, killing stormtroopers with efficiency and a level of lethality we have not seen outside of Darth Vader. I don't think I can say it any better than that. Like, when he grabbed that one with the, I don't even want to call it like a grappling hook, but essentially that's what it was, and reeled him in and then just gutted him from the back. I was like, dude. Flamethrower to the face on another one. Like, it was just awesome. Just awesome. I don't know. Your turn. What do you think? What do you feel?
So the thing that I also want to notice is that he goes back to Werner Herzog's place and he looks in the trash and there's the bassinet pod thing.
Oh, yeah.
Destroyed in the trash. And you could tell at that point he was pissed off. Found a way to get in. They've explained it perfectly. Like, great. Gets out of there, starts walking towards the ship.
With the kid in hand.
And at this point, right before he passes through the entry point to get to his ship, like the arch that we see, he's surrounded by other bounty hunters because their fobs have now been reactivated.
Mm-hmm. The target's on the move.
Surrounded, and Carl Weathers is also there saying, put the kid on the transport deck. Let's talk this through and we'll negotiate how this is going to work. And he just, in all true Mandalorian fashion, puts the kid down, says nope, rolls over, starts a blaster fight, tells the droid to take off towards the ship. Carl Weathers shoots the droid. He starts trying to shoot. He's cornered. He has cornered people.
But he tries everything. Disintegrating people with that blaster. Yep. Carl Weathers is a fan of the weapon.
Is that his fancy gun? His fancy weapon you got there? And it just, at this point, like, it looks like he's done. Like, we know he's not done. It's episode 3 case. But you're like, he's done. Something's going to happen to him.
And the reason you feel that even more, that pause where he just looks in the kid's face. And, like, without any words, he's almost like, I failed you, dude. I'm sorry. I tried to get you out of here. Like
And,
I can't do it. I'm
and I
sorry.
feel that he looked. At first, I thought he looked at the kid to like use his force tricks to save his life again and make things happen. Um, but then you're sitting there watching, and you're like, "It's done. It's over with." You think it's the end of the line. It's over, and out of nowhere, the Mandalorian reinforcements come in.
It was,
Jetpacks
oh
on
my
the
God.
ground, flamethrowers, blasters, and Davis said this freaking saying so many times, and I still can't remember it.
This is
What
the
is it?
way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
And you got the Vizsla guy, like, this is the way. Like, he said, get to your ship, get the kid out of here. And the Mandalorian's like, dude, you're gonna have to relocate, like, the Mandalorian hideout. Like, you can no longer be here. It's not gonna work. Like, they're gonna find y'all and kill y'all. Like, you gotta go. He said, get the kid out of here and get out. Like, amazing,
While with a
amazing
heavy
scene.
turret gun,
Yeah, yeah.
just oh my God. It
Subject
was,
just Turing.
hey, that's how you do it, man. You got to hold it T2 style. Arnold Schwarzenegger opening the door or hanging out the window of that hospital and just beautiful, um, beautiful. Even more so considering it was the fact that it was Paz Vizsla, the guy he had beef with earlier in the day, is the one that came in, had his back. You know, mind you, I only saw this episode twice. I want to see it again. I didn't see any Mandalorians fall.
I didn't either. I was looking.
I was looking too. I didn't see any Mandalorians fall. I saw all those other bounty hunters, Rhodians fall. We even saw Zabrak, which is the same species as
With Darth Maul.
Darth Maul, one of those in the crowd, which he looked beast, by the way. A bunch of other species, you know, droid-looking guys, people in like different mass helmets, saw it all go down. But those Mandalorians, dude, I was giddy. I was smiling the entire scene when those Mandalorians showed up. What about you?
Oh, I was excited, and I was watching to see which ones fell, and I was like, I'm so happy because there's obviously, but now I'm like curious, like, okay, what are they gonna do? Because at this point, guys, that's the end of the show. Like, he flies off in the Razor Crest. That's the end of the show. He gives the little. Oh, He gives the little kid the little ball thing and lets him play with it.
Yeah.
But on that's the end of the show. That's it. So you don't know. And when he flies off, the Mandalorians are still fighting the other bounty hunters. You don't know where he's going. You don't know if he's going to actually go get his bounty. He's probably done. In my opinion, he's probably done at this point. No more bounties. No more finding people. Like, he's done. Like, he's not going to be able to set foot back there again to get money.
You forgot, though. Carl Weathers. Carl Weathers confronts him on the ship, the Razor Crest.
He does. And
And
that's what I was going to say. Sorry.
Go ahead.
That's what I was going to say earlier. So he confronts him on the ship. Mandalorian, like, gets these evaporator thing to, like, kind of foggy it out. And he shoots at him. And then he shoots Carl Weathers.
But
Shoots
he
Carl.
knowingly
But, yes.
shoots him in the Beskar. Because he knows he's going to make it. He's like, you know what, dude? You've been good to me. I don't want to kill you. This is a classic old Western tactic where you shoot them where you know they're not going to get hurt. You know they're not going to die. It's going to knock them on their ass, give you enough time to get out there, but you still got a friend at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Um,
Cutscene. Great. Excited. I can't wait for episode 4, which airs on Friday. We'll have to watch it. I'm gonna watch it Friday before. I may be up, like, I don't know. The girlfriend wants to go Black Friday shopping, so I may be up anyway watching it. But yeah, I'm excited.
The episode was awesome. It really was. Another little random Easter egg that I really remember that I laughed when I heard it is when the Mandalorian walked back into the bar, the cantina, with Carl Weathers there. You hear one alien turn around and say, "Echuta," which that was first spoken in Empire Strikes Back when C-3PO was walking through the halls. He sees another protocol droid, and he's like, "Oh, I'm C-3PO, blah blah blah." And then she just looks at him, or he just looks at him, and he says, "Echuta," and walks away. And then he says, "How rude." So essentially, it's a curse word. I'm sure it's got a translation for an actual word, but I just thought that was a funny little tidbit that they threw in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of Easter eggs in this episode, guys. You can look it up on our social media page at SW Pod Balance, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Let us know what you think. But yeah, this episode was full of a lot of information, as well as this episode that you guys are now listening to. If you've seen it, let us know your thoughts. But I can't wait for episode 4. I can't wait.
And I know we dragged and we talked about a lot in this episode, but Jesus, it's the Star Wars time of year where we got so much going on. It's awesome. Perfect time to be a Star Wars fan. I can't wait for us to link up with our good friends at Sith Talk and Clashing Sabers or Beyond the Blast Doors just to talk Star Wars and gush about this show. It's freaking awesome. But it's not as awesome as having a Black Series figure of one of those Mandalorians.
Yeah, so the Vizsla guy, who's voiced by Jon Favreau, has his own Black Series. It's called Heavy Mandalorian Infantry that will be releasing on 11/27, which that's Wednesday before Thanksgiving, right?
Mm-hmm. Which is a Best Buy exclusive, by the way.
Yes, it is a Best Buy exclusive. You can order it on Best Buy. You can get it the same day. If you order shipping, you can get it the 29th, or you can get it the same day. But it is a Best Buy exclusive. Dave, are you going to pick it up?
I got to pick it up. It's Fav.
Here we go. That's fine.
This is the way, John.
This is the way.
This is the way.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's all I got, man.
All right, guys. We thank you for tuning in today. You guys have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Spend time with your families. This will be our only episode for this week, but we will be back next Monday with our regular lineup and show. We are Balance of the Force, a Star Wars podcast. And as always, may the Force be with you.
Once more, the Sith will rule the galaxy. We shall